Hengest reports on the rogue man in cabinet.
Moses Kuria, a man who on many occasions has been described as having a loose tongue.
Yo wagwan wadau, of course kuna hii story imekuwa ikitrend ya Moses Kuria na NTV. Moses Kuria ni kama alitrash talk NTV na sasa NTV they are after him na wamuachi, like wameamua sasa ni kasonge. Sasa hii mambo inaenda kuenda. So from my view ni eti Moses Kuria kitu ya kwanza alianza moto yenye hawezi zima. Kwa sasa unaangalia kitu kama station kama NTV wako na stories zake mob, wamekuwa wakimhost, wako na video zake akiongea vitu mbaya and all that. So wakitaka kumchomea ni haraka. Hiyo ndo maoni yangu mimi vile naona hii story mali inaelekea. Juu sasa NTV ni kama walikuwa wanangoja war. Wameamua sasa umedeclare war, kasonge. Unaona? But sasa those are my opinions. Hebu wewe nipe opinion yako hapo. Ingia hapo kwa comments. Sema vile wewe una maoni yako, unaona NTV ama Moses Kuria. Hii story itaendaje? Who is right, who is wrong? Mi naweza sema tu Moses Kuria hajafanya fiti. Juu this is an independent media house. Na tena the constitution inakubalisha hizo all that their activities. Hakuna mahali wameenda kinyume na what they are supposed to do. So for you hapo niambie unaona maoni yako ni gani kuhusu hii story? Tena piga
of media freedom as it is a call to basic good manners. This memo is about one Moses Kuria, the CS for Investment, Trade and Industry, who in most civilized societies should have quit. Also made Kenyans question how suitable the former Gatundu South MP is to be a cabinet secretary. His career has been marked by controversy. Reckless statements verbally attacking a journalist while live on air, uttering words that were seen to incite communities against each other, and now a vicious attack on the Nation Media Group for what is believed to be the exposing of a dubious scheme involving oil exports in which 5.6 billion shillings taxpayers' money could have been lost. NTV's Melita Oletenges reports on the rogue man in cabinet.
Moses Kuria, a man who on many occasions has been described as having a loose tongue. Then he got nominated to high office and got past the quote, rubber stamping at the National Assembly. With this upgrade, one would believe he would be better. But it has not appeared to be a change to the executive class, but more of an executive platform for the same character. Most recently,
Nation Media muamue kama nyinyi ni gazeti ama broadcasting house ama media house ama ni chama cha upinzani.
The cabinet secretary sitting at the helm of a critical docket, the Ministry of Investments, Trade and Industry, in apparent anger echoed his boss, the deputy president's hollow allegations. Then, in reference to the Nation Media Group, he made a declaration, hollow as well.
Kutoka leo hata sio kesho, idara yote ya serikali nitaona imeweka advertisement kwa Nation Media. Ujihesabu kwa nyumbani.
The Kenya Coast National Polytechnic had an advertisement in the newspaper, to which the rogue CS tweeted, Daily Nation, page 15, not good. And another advert, this time by the Kenya Mortgage Refinance Company, to which he posted, Business Daily, page 3, not good. But this is not the most vile comment from him. His moral standing, especially for the office he holds, appears to have fallen down a dark, bottomless chasm that has left many shocked and questioning his suitability to hold the office he does. In a follow-up to his warning to government agencies, he chose the derogatory route, unveiling his person even more. He tweeted addressing who he termed as prostitutes at Nation Center that they can still advertise auctioneers and funeral announcements, saying, we, presumably the government, will not stop those. In a statement, the Nation Media Group has condemned the Kuria's attack on its staff and principal shareholder, His Highness, the Aga Khan, who is also among the top investors in the country. An excerpt of the statement reads in part, "The verbal attack using foul and crude language against NMG is shocking, primitive and inexcusable in the eyes of level-headed Kenyans who expect cabinet secretaries to conduct themselves with decorum befitting their high offices. We would like to believe that Moses Kuria's statements seeking to intimidate government agencies from placing advertisement with NMG does not represent government policy, that he has no legal powers to make such a sweeping declaration. No government should weaponize taxpayers' funds at its disposal to punish media for exposing public ills in a bid to influence editorial integrity." The Media Council of Kenya has condemned the remarks. The council notes that this is the most extreme since independence, that individuals have pushed media and government relations to the brink and lowered the country's dignity. The Kenya Editors Guild has condemned Kuria's statements as being totally off the mark, reading in part, "If a state officer or any Kenyan for that matter is aggrieved by the work of the media, they have an array of avenues to raise them, including pursuing the legal route or reaching out to the media entity concerned." The cabinet secretary's unbecoming remarks come after an expose by Nation Media Group on a 6 billion shillings edible oil deal scandal that was reported as having been birthed during President William Ruto's first cabinet meeting. But while the CS was taking the deputy president's assertions to a new level, the DP has disowned him, while still staying true to the course of attacking the media.
I don't want, whereas I agree with Moses Kuria that you have become rogue and you are part of the Azimio brigade of trying to bring down the government, I don't agree with what he has suggested, that we stop advertising with you. We shouldn't, because we are democracy and we should be able to allow you to continue doing your job. Ours is to call you out. When you go overboard, we must tell you on the face.
But going by this,
I, Moses Kuria, being appointed a cabinet secretary of Kenya.
Are these expressions declarations that bear no legal basis to implement, and threats show what is the best of Kuria's ability? If so,
so help me God.
Melita Olutenges, NTV.
Tonight, the memo is a defense of media freedom as it is a call to basic good manners. This memo is about one Moses Kuria, the CS for Investment, Trade and Industry, who in most civilized societies should have quit his position by now. Yesterday, the CS, in broad daylight and without any provocation, descended into a primitive diatribe against the Nation Media Group, using street insults and unprintable expletives against the media house and its principal shareholder, simply because we here at NMG did a story the CS did not like. The story in question involved a 6 billion shilling edible oils scandal in which the CS was implicated, not least because the deals in question fell squarely in his docket. And to be sure, the colossal sums of money involved belonged to the taxpayer, not the CS. Predictably, the CS's moment of insanity has attracted unqualified condemnation from a number of umbrella bodies in the media, such as the Media Owners Association, the Kenya Editors Guild, and the Kenya Union of Journalists, as well as the Media Council of Kenya. Even the Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission, EACC, has called out the CS over his foul mouth. The Kenya Editors Guild likened the CS's remarks to those of the late Mulu Mutisia, a zealot of the one-party dictatorship and who is remembered as a poster child of one of the darkest periods of our national history. The Kenya Union of Journalists has called the CS a symbol of national shame, and he is. How else can you explain his constant thoughtless outburst remarks against an institution whose freedom is guaranteed by the Constitution, no less? Our concern tonight is not the fact that the CS is raving mad on social media or that he shamelessly lost his cool at a public event. He can keep doing that if he doesn't respect the lofty position he holds. But it is his temerity to threaten a media organization in present-day Kenya that is baffling. His purported blanket injunction on government departments seeking to advertise on NMG platforms is the height of arrogance and the mark of a public official drunk with power. The EACC has rightfully reminded the CS that he has no authority to purport to influence or control the award of government tenders. The CS must be reminded tonight that the media as an institution predates his short political career and will outlast his fleeting ministerial job by many generations. Further, the freedom that the media enjoys in Kenya is the product of a long struggle for which many Kenyans paid with their lives. The media, therefore, does not operate at his pleasure, and its freedom is not his to give. It is gratifying to note that the Deputy President, Rigathi Gachagua, has distanced himself from Kuria's thoughtless threats on government advertising. But one hopes that the DP will go the whole hog and wake up the CS from his reverie. Further, we hope the appointing authority, President William Ruto, is just as disturbed by Moses Kuria's vitriolic attacks on the media, and that we will soon hear from him. As the media, we exist to shine the light on all the dark deals in hidden places, and that we will continue to do, regardless of Moses Kuria's opinions, because it's the reason we are here. That is the memo.